Hi everyone, it's Ken from Whispering Souls. So this is not a really a spiritual talk. There's nothing spiritual going to be discussed about. This is just my personal opinion on vegetarians and vegans and the way they see the world versus what my perception is. To me, there's no problem with being a vegan or vegetarian. That's your preference. It's a lot of people, like my daughter-in-law, and has tried to save as many animals in the world, and that's great. There's no problem with that whatsoever. What I'm looking at right now is just kind of looking at the statistics of what would happen if we decided worldwide to not eat animals. I did some studying and whatnot, and I looked into this and how we would be affected by doing that thing, that action. So I did some statistics. So currently in the farming of animals for the general public, there's about 70 billion animals that are in farms and whatnot that are set up to be, killed and gotten ready for consumption. And again, just to say, I do agree with some people about how the animals are treated. I think there's better ways to treat them. That how they kill them can be, in some cases, is pretty bad. And we're obviously, everything's done by cost, so they're not going to sit there and say, well, this is a better way to do it, but it's going to cost me more, but oh well. Kind of a fact of making money, I guess. So out of that 70 billion, we have 19.6 billion chickens, 1.4 billion cattle, 980 million pigs. I'm only picking these three because those are the three that are probably the most dominant of the way, what people eat. So a study has been done already has been done quite a bit on deer. We shoot deer every year, and there's a reason for it. Everybody says, oh, that's horrible and this and that, but if we look at how much deer causes damage to farms and to people's houses and whatnot, the study in 2020 on the deer population's damage in Ontario for the farms is estimated about $41 million. That's them going into the farms, eating crops, damaging whatever they do, because they do go into people's houses, or they go in the yard and they'll eat whatever's in the yard, and it's just it's just animals are animals. They see something they want to eat, they're going to eat it. That's just the nature of survival. So now let's look at the broader viewpoint. Let's look at the 70 billion animals that are there in farms. So let us decide that we are not going to eat any more animals. No more meat. They're all going to, as the vegetarians and vegans would like to see, we are going to release these 70 billion animals into the wild. And in discussion and talking to them, they're saying, oh yeah, but nature will take care of them. Obviously they're talking about, that they're all being killed by wild animals. But, I'm looking at the chickens. There's 19.6 billion chickens in the world. There's not enough predators to kill all these chickens. So what's going to happen if we, put these chickens out? Well, what will happen is, since chickens procreate pretty fast, within a year that 19.6 chickens is going to be probably around 40 billion chickens. The cows, there's 1.4 billion right now. They don't procreate as much, but they eat a lot of food. So do chickens. So do pigs. We already see the damage from pigs in the States and other countries that are feral, and the damages they do, and the government's working really hard at trying to control them, but because they procreate really fast, it's very hard to control them. And there's actually things out there trying to control these things. So all these animals are going to be looking for food. They're going to be looking for the food that we have on farms, in our backyards, in our lawns. And the chickens, again, you're going to have enough chickens that the predators, there'll be no way for them to take control of these ones. 1.4 billion cattle. What's going to take, what kind of predator is going to take care of 1.4 billion cattle? So the issue here is the farms. So if we have all these animals, including the deer and all the other animals that were not raised, already out there eating stuff, what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years with all these animals out there eating everything that we want to eat? I've had even experiences with myself with I live in the woods, and experience I've had is we put up a whole bunch of corn for my son. We watched it grow, came up to the end, popcorn. Anyway, they're made for popcorn. Corn. So, we looked at it, says, okay, it's time to harvest. We'll do it in the morning. The next morning we came down, they're all gone. And this is what the farmers are facing, and this is what we will face if we release all the animals into the world, where we would have to convert all the farms into a protective system that the animals can't get at. So then what the animals do, they go after our lawns, and everything else that is not protected they will go after. So I'm not saying this to say that you shouldn't be vegan or you shouldn't be vegetarian. That's great. It's your own thing. But I'm wanted to show what the future would be. The consequences of deciding not to have meat. We would have to stop eating meat and then have to wait 10 years for, nature to take care of all these. But then they're going to procreate. So in my mind, if we did go that route, there would be no food for us. There would just be no way to control these animals. So if you want to be vegan, if you want to be vegetarian, go for it. With anything else, the world is, the way we have managed things, we have to look at the consequences of what would happen if we changed the way we do things. I do agree that, animals are not treated well. There should be a better way of treating animals. Perhaps some places are not very humane, simply because of money cost. But anyway, so that's all I have to say about this. Again, it's something that I don't think we could ever fix. Anyway, that's all I have. Take care, everyone, and bye.